Did we get the shit kicked out of us today?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. But we're alive.
We will try again tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll try the big wall tomorrow.
We almost died.
Fade away.
In this video, we're traveling to Vancouver Island. To get there, we had to take a ferry from Horseshoe Bay to Nanaimo. This trip usually takes around an hour and a half on the ferry, plus another 30-ish minute drive to our final destination, Parksville. On this trip, we were lucky enough to borrow Kevin's dad's sick camper van, Big Red. Our goal was to do 2 dive days back to back, 2 dives each. So we hauled all of our dive gear and found an awesome campground in Rath River Beach Provincial Park and set up camp. This area was perfect since all of the awesome shore dives were only less than a 15-minute drive away. Vancouver Island actually has some of the best shore dives in BC, and it's actually kind of crazy we don't come here more often. On our first dive day, we went to Tyee Cove. This was actually a full circle moment for us since this is where we took our dry suit course a couple of years ago. Tyee Cove is a fairly easy shore dive and the amenities are very diver friendly. They have a couple of picnic tables, a big grassy area, a change room, and a washroom. It's always nice to scope out the place before we start getting ready. It has a flat, pebbly entrance with logs, so watch your step. The site consists of 2 walls and a bay. The left wall has a somewhat friendly wolf feel, from what we hear, while the right wall doesn't have too much. Of course, we didn't know that prior to the dive, so we went to the right wall.
Smile.
We didn't really see much this dive, but we were more taken aback by the viz. It seemed so much brighter here compared to what we were used to in Vancouver that we barely used our lights. Of course, we saw the usual suspects, rockfish, nudibranchs, lingcods, but we also saw some funny clams swimming and even spotted a tiger rockfish. This was such a chill dive. We were thinking of doing our second dive, but Kevin actually had a bit of a flood, so we just decided to call it a day.
Nice.
We then drove back to Nanaimo to get our tanks filled at Nanaimo Dive Outfitters. Back at the campsite, I played around with my camera since I was having some strobe issues on the first dive. Since it was still technically winter, all the hoses were shot, so we had to sinfully hang up our gear without rinsing them. For our second dive day, we went to Madrona Point. Apparently, this is known to be one of the best shore dives in BC. We checked out the entry and scoped it out. After a short walk through the forest, it opens up into this beautiful view. The entry seemed pretty nice, big flat rocks with little tide pools. According to the locals, the main wall is the highlight of the site, which settles around 80 to 90 feet. The main wall was marked with 2 buoys. Since we were on air, we planned to surface swim to the furthest buoy to conserve our NDL. After a short walk through the woods, It opens up and you can see the entrance. These flat rocks here can be kind of slippery, so I always like to take my time. As soon as we peeked down the water, we saw some sea lions that kept buzzing underneath us. As we were kicking towards the second buoy, we kept drifting further and further away and eventually ended up way past it. I have no idea how that happened, and I'm assuming there was a strong current underneath us. No matter how much we tried to swim back, it felt like we weren't making any progress. I felt extremely tired, scared, and hopeless, and I was honestly on the verge of a panic attack. It was really weird because my instincts were telling me to just drop all of my gear, take off my dry suit, and swim back. We decided to abandon the dive before we even got a chance to go down. It literally took us almost an hour to go back, and it wasn't a great experience. Although that first dive really shook me to my core, we were already here, so what the hell? Let's go for a second dive. On the second dive, we chose to go to the left side of the bay since we didn't really have to swim out. Here, everyone was lining up to see something. I think it was a lumpy suckerfish. I kinda ran out of patience and just decided to move on. Here's a cute little nudie hiding behind some kelp. Although this dive was a little boring and we didn't really see much, at least we weren't close to death.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I only caught one turn today.
Yeah, today did not do justice for us for our first dive here. It's not always like this, right? Yeah. I'll make it work.
Yeah.
I'll make it work.
Right?
Yeah.
All people, it's all land shots.
We got a sea lion. That'll get us the views. There you go.
Wondering, maybe he's right in the camera settings. Maybe it bounces back and forth because it just resets.
Are we doing the big wall?
To do
Yes.
like go back to like
I know, but
10-bit streaming, and it's trying to do like a 4K display again.
Like this is what we do.
We're doing that now.
so you jump in where we
So after
went in this morning,
and
and what we did is we went out here but drifted.
outdated
Well.
So all we do is we just swim out to here. Fucking, it gives you the heading. So you fucking head on 340, get out from there down to like 80 feet.
Yeah.
There's the wall, and we don't have to surface swim anything.
Yo, if we do that swim again, I will literally.
Well, so there's two buoys.
Yeah,
The first buoy, Carl actually installed. You drop down that, the fire
Oh,
hose,
cool.
it leads right to the wall. And then it's just a right, and you're right on the wall. So you want to go to like the first one, and it'll drop you right down on a fire hose. That'll lead you right to the second one, and then hook a right, and you're right on the wall.
okay. See, easy when it's said
It's
like that.
super easy.
Well, yeah, that's all we thought this
And
morning.
then on
and
your
we
way
almost
back,
died.
just follow the fire hose and just head that direction all the way back to shore.
Yeah, well, 340.
Yeah.
Right out. Perfect.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
try again.
So if you go all the way to pretty much the end of the wall, you'll see 2 giant cracks, like big triangular cracks, usually octodens. There was none today, but there's a wall of zoanthids, and then there's 2 war bonnets like right beside each other, like about that distance off. Really nice, really pretty. Usually out in the open.
Yeah, you'll come along a sheer wall face, and then there'll be like a flat bench. It's like bigger than your van.
Yeah.
Where it's just flat, and there's 2 big vertical cracks like this, and you'll look on the left of the left crack, and that's where the war bonnets are. There's like a square face that's about the size of the back section of your van, and they're right on that.
Cool. Okay.
And
Well-
usually there's wolf eels like underneath.
All right.
Right
Well,
underneath it. It's around 80, 85 feet.
Yeah, Richard was saying there's, I think, maybe it was the small wall, the big horizontal crack,
Yeah.
and that's where he is usually a couple of wolf
You'll
eels.
hit the horizontal crack, and then you'll follow that along, and it'll literally take you right to that big flat bench shelf I was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we have one more tank.
Exactly.
We just did
But
it
if you're not at the right depth, you'll miss that horizontal crack completely because you can't really see it from above.
Right.
You got to be right at that level.
How
It's like
deep is it?
80-ish feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just depending on the, give or take 10 feet.
Yeah. Are you guys on nitrox or air?
Sure.
That's
We
why
wanted
we
to do a
originally wanted to
nitrox,
go
yeah.
out and just drop down the far buoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But forget it.
On air, yeah, you might not make it.
Whatever.
It's a big swim.
I'd rather do the swim underwater.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
You cruise the top of the wall, you'd be fine.
Oh yeah, I
Cruise
guess.
the top and then just drop over. But
Okay. Well,
If we
let's
just get down there for a couple minutes. And
just
then
like do a bounce.
Yeah.
Let's just bounce and like, cool. Wolf eels. Go back to Vancouver. See ya.
Yeah.
So we just have to leave here by
It
11:30.
just means we have to not sleep in.
Yeah.
We squeezed in one last dive before heading back to Vancouver later that day. We went back to Madrona Point to conquer the big wall. This time, there was no current, and I'm so happy we went back. Right from our descent, a pod of sea lions were following us and playing around. These animals are so curious and are so cool to see. We finally made it to the wall and spotted a wolf eel right away. Wolf eels live up to 25 to 30 years, and they have powerful jaws and sharp teeth as they normally eat crabs, clams, and sea urchins. Peeking through the crevices, we spotted a giant Pacific octopus nestled deep in the cracks. It was time to slowly make our way back and shallow up as we were close to hitting our NDL. While going up a couple meters, we spotted a juvenile wolf eel. These things look so different compared to the mature one we saw earlier. On the way back, we saw a group of divers, which is always reassuring to see. This redemption dive was such a good dive, and I'm really glad we went back. Madrona Point is truly one of the best shore dives in BC, and we can't wait to come back.